I walk my dog all the time. It's probably the thing that's kept me fit during this period most. I've probably eaten more, and but I've walked more. And over the last couple of weeks, walking around with my dog, it's been a bit stormy, hasn't it? And one of the things I'll tell you is I've got a Bichon Frise. It's a white, fluffy dog. It's almost like a sheep dog, but in reality like a dog mixed with a sheep. But anyway, the thing is, you take it out into this stormy weather and it picks up all this, picks up everything. It's like having a white car. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about at all. I've been walking around with my dog and it's been a bit stormy. And, you know, I noticed we've lost a tile. I point there because it's not around there. We lost a tile. And over on our common, we live on a common, and one of the trees, it's like half of it ripped off and has fallen down. And all over the place there's bits of branches and leaves, there's rubbish, there's a couple of fence panels in other people's gardens that have broken down. And storms can be damaging, can't they? But then I've noticed myself as I've walked around, the leaves, the branches and that, they get picked up. The rubbish, that gets cleared up. I mean, them leaves and stuff, the young birds come down, they like a bit of that, don't they, for their nests and things. People come out and they repair their benches, repair their fences, and that part of a tree that's fallen off, that's ripped half away from the rest of itself, that's no longer there, because I noticed the next day after a particular storm, when that fell down, there was somebody over there with a chainsaw and a little barrow, and they made that into the firewood. Clever, eh? After the storm, what happens? We're in a storm. This is a bit of a storm of life for everyone, rather than just sort of an individual. I mean, within this massive storm, really, of at the moment, I see that there's individuals in storms as well, and the storm will end. What's going to happen then? One of my favourite bands is it's a group called Mumford and Sons. It's funny because my wife Tony, she hates them, so generally I listen to them in the car. Anyway, on their first album, they wrote a song, beautiful song, and it's called After the Storm, and I wanted to read you the chorus of that song this morning, and it says this: there will come a time, you'll see, with no more tears, and love will not break your heart, but dismiss your fears. Get over the hill and see what you find there, with grace in your heart and flowers in your hair. Jesus said, I like going back, Jesus said, is a nice basis for so much. He said, we're going to have storms in life. In fact, he said we're going to have trouble in this world. And he says, I've overcome the world. And she says, I've said this so many times, but it's one of my favourites. In the King James, he says, be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. I want to be of good cheer. You know, right at the end of the Bible, there, God says, he says, there'll be no more tears. There'll be no more mourning. He says, I will make all things new. This, as I said, this current storm in our lives, this pandemic, or as I said, those individual things that you're in, they will come to an end. You'll see. There will come a time, you'll see, when these things will end. But what are we going to do then? How are we going to prepare ourselves? we have to be ready in a way. Start looking around now. What's falling down? What's looking a bit broken? Where's there a loose tile? Where is there a branch that's breaking? Because when I talk about, you know, where's a loose tile? Because they're the things we can start thinking of now. We can start saying, you know, there's a loose tile in my life. I'll tell you my loose tile in my life. One of those things at the moment. During this period, as I said at the start there, I've eaten so much more. I've snacked. So wait a minute, come on. I want to be ready to run. Literally, I want to be a bit more actively aware of myself. So yeah, that's a bit of a loose tile with me at the moment. There's so many, we can look at ourselves, so many, maybe these horrible word disciplines in our life which have slackened, which we've just not bothered with because of what's been going on. This is almost a call to let's get back on it. Let's get ready. You know, we want to be useful. We want to be able to thrive after the storm. Because, you know, when the storm ends, that sky is clear. And it's like you can see. And at that point, we want to be able to, oh, right, okay, I can see now. I want to be able to run. I want to, you know, have my chainsaw ready. I want to have my hammer and nails ready. But we need to get focused now. It doesn't just, the storm's over. Now I can be me again. Now I can do what I was doing before again. No, this is the time. This is the time when we get back on it. This is the time when we start looking around. This is the self-awareness time. This is let's get onto those disciplines. Let's start looking for loose tiles and wobbly fences and holes where, you know, rain might come in. This is the time. Let's get on it, and then there will come a time, you'll see, when this will come to an end. And then we're going to use all of the stuff that's been broken, all the people maybe that have been damaged. We're going to help. We're going to repair. We're going to build up. We're going to introduce people to Jesus. He's the great repairer, the great transformer. So, thanks for your time. Bye now.